Well, when I went back and watched the scrimmage, I watched it Sunday evening at the house, and then we watched it again as a staff on Monday, and then I watched it again on Tuesday. I thought it was a little bit better day for the offense running the ball than I probably gave them credit for after the scrimmage. Still didn't finish drives, and the turnovers, gave the defense the edge, but I thought we ran the ball pretty well and blocked pretty well up front. Again, we were very vanilla defensively, but I thought the run game did a nice job. We were opportunistic defensively, creating a lot of turnovers, played with some energy. We got to close some running lanes down a little bit faster, and that's just our safeties getting involved in run support a little sooner. And then we need to do a better job of making plays in the perimeter. Space plays were probably our enemy for the defense this past week. So we had a period of basically space plays today, and I thought they did a better job today. But overall, it was a good effort. There's a lot of snaps, and some guys. We had some guys playing 80, 90 snaps because we basically have one guy at certain positions. But I thought the guys played hard. Now that'll be our longest scrimmage of the year. Or this spring, I think it's 114 snaps. This Sunday we'll do probably half of that, or maybe a little bit less, with a practice and then a little bit of live period, and then the spring game will be very similar. We won't, we'll probably total 114 snaps with the next two scrimmages.
You weren't with your quarterbacks on Sunday, but what did you take to them in the meeting room, talk to them about, and did you see them start to work on those things today?
No, it wasn't a very good day for the quarterbacks today. The wind was a factor today, and we were a little off on a lot of our throws. I just feel like we're hesitating at times, waiting for things to be perfect instead of going to play ball and seeing it, and your feet are telling you to cut it loose, and play football. There were times that we did a good job, but overall we're too inconsistent at that position. Now, are we down some receivers? Yes. Warren Jackson didn't go today, and we're already thin. And are we down at some offensive line, and the protection is spotty at times? Yes, but that doesn't matter for a quarterback. You play each snap like it's a new snap. You take what the defense gives you. We're going to blow protection. Guys are going to get beat up front. We're going to have guys covered, and we got to be smart at the quarterback position. Sometimes when you're trying to prove yourself and win a job, you do things outside of what we want you to do at that position, and we got to settle down and play the position for the quarterbacks, and that's going to be, my message. And then there's some routine things that we progressed strong, or we didn't have our eyes in the right spot, which is unacceptable at that position, which caused lost yardage plays, which puts you behind the sticks and gives advantage to the defense.
Mike, you talked about that a couple guys got banged up in the scrimmage, Warren Jackson, Cameron Butler, Furman. Are they out long-term, or is it short-term?
Well, Warren Jackson, he's got a sprain on his ankle, and I think hopefully he'll be back by the end of this week. He looked pretty good to me walking out of the dressing room after the scrimmage, and looked pretty good in the pit today. So I think it'll be a couple days, hopefully. Keith Ermitt got rolled up in a practice before the scrimmage, so he was already out. The swelling's got to get down. Who else? Max was out from a practice with a head-related injury, so he'll be out until the doctors say. Cameron Butler got injured in a practice on an underthrow, stopping to throw it, and kind of tripped, got tangled up with somebody's feet and sprained his ankle. They think he's a little bit like Warren. Hopefully by the end of the week, nothing major. It's just swelling getting down, and when they can be functional, and then when the trainer says they can go, they'll be out there. When they're not, other guys are going to have to step up and fill their shoes.
But they're all guys that should be back before spring's over.
Should be. I'm not a doctor or a trainer, and I don't make that decision. They tell me if they're in or they're out. If they're in, they practice. If they're out, they go to the pit. If they can't go to the pit, they stay in the training room. So, I don't make those decisions, and just whoever's practicing. We meet every day in the staff report. They tell me who's in and who's out.
JC's been on campus as long as you've been, and then, of course, the other two have been here just for a year. Are they where they should be in your eyes, or are they not where you would expect them to be at this point in their
Which ones are you asking me? The two that, oh, okay, JC, as far as knowledge of our offense and being able to sit in the meeting room and answer every question that Coach lets and ask him, get on the board and be able to draw it, and he's where he should be. JC's got to go play. Had a conversation with him today. I mean, there's a Mike Reed, and the mic goes one way, and he's almost like he's trying, because we had if the defender goes one, we got a chance for a touchdown within a concept of a route. And if it's not there, we've got about a high percentage throw into the boundary, and he forced it to almost try to throw a touchdown. And, and he knew the answer right when I asked him on the field. I'm like, well, you can't do that. You got to play within the system. And that's what he's got to do. I think it's trying to be perfect, being a little bit of a robot. I mean, just play. If it's not there, get up in the pocket, make something happen. So hopefully that message got to him. He had 3 good plays after that. He's just got to do that on a consistent basis and play football. The other 2 are, basically freshmen. Good moments where they do some good things, and then some things where you just scratch your head. Even though you went over it, they're going to make mistakes, and sometimes even if the other guy made the mistake, they have to make the mistake for themselves before they understand it. But it's just what I told the whole team after practice, not just the quarterbacks. Wish we had 20 more practices, and we got to take advantage of every meeting, every walkthrough, every rep we get at practice, and every drill, and especially the quarterback. But we'll get there. They're getting there. I have to go look at the film for today. The scrimmage, there were some good things the 2 young guys did, and consequently they got more reps in today's practice because of it.
Mike, you've kind of done a mix of transfers, guys out of high school here. Is it important to always have some of that mix? Because obviously there's some transfers you're trying to really heavily.
Well, you'd like to build your team, through recruiting high school kids and develop them, but sometimes you have to go the transfer route or the JC route to fill a need, or whether it's a need by position or a need by numbers. In that you void some juniors in a class and at a position, and you've got to kind of help your roster management a little bit. But I'd rather recruit high school guys and develop those guys and build depth. But sometimes you've got to go a junior college route because of need, and our transfer route. Obviously, quarterback this year, there's a need there. Offensive lineman, there's a need. There's a need at corner for us right now, and we're actively pursuing some DBs right now in the transfer route.
Mike, how is it having KJ here?
It's been good. There's obviously some NCAA rules of what you can do with him, but I think it's good for him to get here and get around the guys and be able to observe practice and see what's going on and get a feel for it and see concepts and get to know the guy. He's getting to know myself. He's getting to know how Coach Letson coaches on the field. He's getting around the guys and starting to build, a bond there. Because he's going to have to, if he's the guy, he's going to, you're going to have to be, a leader by that role of the position you play. So I think it shows the want to by him of just saying, I'm coming and I'm going to drive back and forth from Boulder where my sister lives, and I'm going to be at everything I can be at, but which the NCAA allows him to be at. And so I'm excited he's here and look forward to when he gets to start working out with the guys.
When did he show up exactly?
When did he?
Yeah,
Maybe last week, 7 to 10 days ago. I can't remember. He's been back and forth, visiting with his sister. He'll be back this weekend. I think he's going to do his official visit. I think we can't comment on that since I'm commenting about him right now that he's doing an official visit. But his parents are coming in town this weekend. His sisters, I think CU plays CSU in volleyball here in scrimmage on Saturday, so they'll be here this weekend. And so it'll be a good time for us to meet, the family and just, make him feel welcome. And he's going to basically be here throughout spring, back and forth from his sisters, and then the first chance that he can enroll in school, he will. And he's planning on Maymaster, I believe.
He's doing nothing more than just practice.
Right. There's a long list of things that a guy can do. Now he can go. There's a long list of things that he can do as far as NCAA wise, and then we just got to abide by that.
Mike, when you look at the number of of transfers, you have had to bring in other coaches. Is that something you hope over time, as you build a program, you do less of that? Or is it always going to be, there's going to be points of need where you just go out and have to?
No, you'd like to bat, close to 100%, where every guy stays in your program and you don't have as much attrition, and guys stay healthy and don't have medicals, or guys don't, try to transfer when things don't go their way. But that's going to happen. You're going to have attrition every year. We've had a lot at the defensive back position. We have some guys we've signed over the last 3 years didn't make it, didn't get here, got here, didn't left, and we're thin right there at that position. Now we've helped through recruiting with this year's class, but we need to help our roster management with some veteran guys there to fill out the need at DB.
At the same time, those transfers have been some of your best players over the last 2 years too. Michael Gallup, Dawkins, Clark.
Yeah, well, you know what? That's a good point that you make, because sometimes when you recruit a junior college kid or a graduate transfer, sometimes it's a chance for you to get a guy that you might not have gotten out of high school, because they've been through it. They're at junior college, they're ready to transfer, and they want to go somewhere where they, feel like they've got an opportunity to play, and you get maybe a chance at a guy that probably out of high school is thinking all about the Power Fives, and then now that they're a little more mature, they realize that Colorado State's just as good as any of these Power Fives. I'm going to go here and get an opportunity to play.
Mike, you talked about Adam Prentice a few times this spring and what he means to the program. What are some of those things that he does kind of behind the scenes that maybe don't get noticed as much?
Well, he does everything right. Back to football wise, we graded out everybody on our football team and had some guys that weren't involved in our program grade guys out, and he was the highest graded guy on offense, just doing everything right, production of assignment and technique. And then he's involved in about every program on campus. He's involved in the from the key community when he was a freshman to John Mosley when he was a freshman. He's still involved in that. He's one of their leaders in that program, and he's not a minority. So I invited him. He wanted to go and he wanted to be a part and learn and be a part of the other athletes on campus. Just, it doesn't matter if it's Blanche Hughes, Albert Bemper, Sarah Ray, anybody comes in contact with this guy, they just sing his praises, the type of young man he is, and he's a great representative of our program here.
Coach, what have you seen so far from BC Johnson? As a player, almost a possible leader now.
Well, he's grown up. Like all guys, they're trying to figure out their own way when they first get here. And BC's a naturally quiet kid, but we've challenged him in the leadership role because I think he has leadership ability, and he's become more vocal, not just with his group of receivers, but also with the offensive football team. The guys respect him, so he's got that platform and he has influence, and he's done a nice job of speaking up. And he's always been one of our most consistent players on the field, doing the right thing, never complains. He's one of our better special teams players. He's one of our better receivers. He's one of our better students. He's a lot like Adam Prentice, said that he's a guy that's going to do everything right, and he's a great teammate, plus being a great leader.
Do you have big expectations for him?
No, most definitely. He's going to be put in a role where he's going to have to play a number of positions for us, from the slot to the flanker. Everybody wants him on every special team. He's the punt returner right now. I feel like he's going to have a big year for us.
Coach, is there any updates on Colin and his timeline for?
Well, if you ask Colin, I know we don't let y'all talk to Colin because he's injured, but he's planning on being back by the first game, and he's rehabbing extremely hard. He's at every meeting. I don't see a lot of swelling on his knees. I think he's on schedule. I saw him tossing the ball sitting down the other day with our trainer. But, he's going to work extremely hard. It's just going to be how much the knee can take and how fast he can push it. And a lot of that's going to be based on his knee. But right now, I think everything is full speed ahead, and he looks good where he's at. But it's going to be a hard road for him. But his mindset is, I'm getting back and I'm getting ready to play.
He's done it once before.
He has.
It's been about a week since you slotted Barry Wesley into the first team rotation. Has he taken
Yeah, Barry's one of our most consistent players because Barry cares. You know, he listens to everything Coach Johnson says, not just on his assignment, but on his technique. He's not as strong as he needs to be right now. He's still young, and he's got to continue to develop physically. But as far as his mental approach every day of learning the offense, of trying to master the fundamentals, of being mentally tough as well. I mean, Barry played 93 snaps in the scrimmage the other day and played just as good at the end of the scrimmage as he did at the beginning, and was playing left tackle, right tackle, guard. It's a credit to him, and really excited that Barry Wesley's on our football team.
He's not the only young guy on this line right now. Has everybody else been taking those steps forward that you hope to see?
Well, there's been baby steps for Joctavius Phillips. You know, he was probably playing the most snaps, and we probably playing him a little bit too much, so we try to take a little bit off his plate, but he's made some strides. Scott Brooks is another guy that every single day is locked into what Coach Johnson wants. Now, he's got to get a lot stronger and develop as an offensive lineman, but he's trying to do it right. You know, so those three have made some progress. I'd say Barry has made the most, but, you know, Louis LeBron's got to pick it up. John Blasco, I thought, had a better day today. Keith Furman's got to pick it up, but they're young. You know, if they'll stay the course, if they'll battle every day, if they'll get stronger and don't give in, they'll have a chance to play offensive line.